So this one was a long one to farm. Welcome to the Ultimate Ajax farming guide, everybody. Hope this helps you out. Probably going to put fastest somewhere because it gets clicks, but this was a very long farm, but hopefully this helps you guys out and speeds things up for you just a tad. We'll start with gathering parts first. There are a couple of annoying resources here as well, and I've got tips for those. They will be further to the end of the video. In any case, starting out with the cells, you're going to want to come over to your infiltrations, into hard mode, and then over to the Kingston area. Select the Magister Lab, and then you're going to want to change this over so that you can get to your Amorphous 57. 10% drop chance. I always like double the roll, so I did 20 of these just to make sure that I had everything that I wanted. Farmed out that particular Amorphous. It's fairly easy once you're in hard mode because this is the first and therefore easiest boss. You could argue that maybe Dead Bride's slightly easier, but overall the execution shouldn't give you too many problems, and so this is probably going to be the best place to get the cells. I hope you've gotten yourself a Sharon. If not, you need a Sharon friend, because the easiest way to get the rest of them is going to be from outposts, and they're all 6% drop chances. I apologize. These are long. That means you're going to want at least 17 of each one. Maybe aim for 25 to 30, because 6% drop chance kind of works out at somewhere close to 1 in 17. If you get 20, that should give you a decent amount of rolls. We'll find the stabilizer in Amorphous 112. This is in Ajax, as you can see there, over on the right-hand side. I'll give at least one demonstration on how we go ahead and interact with the panels inside of here. Obviously, this has to be done with Sharon invisible and make sure nobody has been detected. Go around and just interact with them all. That one seemed to lag out or something like this. I don't know why. Failed there. In any case, clear out the outpost. The boss here isn't too difficult. No double life bars or anything like this. Just clear it out, and that is going to give you 112. Because this one was annoying to find, I'm going to show the route to the reactor as well. As you can see, it's not actually in the same zone as it is with most of the outposts. So if we just go over to the fractured monolith and show you guys the route to the reactor that we need to use. Of course, before doing this, maybe slip into a more combat viable Descendant. Sharon can be pretty good in combat as well, but mine is spec that way. But either way, we're going to go out from the mini fast travel point. As you can see, we're going to take a left. There's no north pointer, as you just kind of, I suppose we are kind of going south. But once we get to this kind of little fork in the road, we want to turn to the left. We'll know we're going the right way when we get these ancient looking ruins. And then as we're going through here, we want to keep an eye up to the right hand side for this ledge. This is the way to the reactor, so this is what's going to make it easy for you to start cracking open those Amorphous once you're ready. The catalyst is co-located in one of the bully parts. If you go over to the White Knight Gulch, see the mountaintops area, you'll find that we can get the next part, which is the catalyst, from the 098AA Amorphous that we have right here. Cool thing is you can have some new stuff on there right now as well, so it should be a pretty decent farm. And the reactor and the void fragments here are actually pretty good. The void fragment right here is actually the best place to farm your ability to open all of this, so fairly self-explanatory map in this one. I shouldn't need to show that one in great detail. And the same thing goes for acquiring the code. As you can see here, we're in Agna Desert, and it will drop from the 088 that we get from the Vermilion Waste outpost right here. We have a pretty decent ability to farm the organics that we need, and then open up the reactor, which isn't all that bad. When looking at Ultimate Ajax, then there are two materials here that are annoying to get in particular, so I'm going to show you guys some tips to get both of them. The most annoying one is probably the anode ion particle, so let's start with that one. The best place to go for that is to go over to Ajax. Come on over to the fractured monolith right here and to the main outpost. Slip into something combat ready at the outpost or that you want to level up, and then we're going to head to this first mission right here, the large supply transport point. Progress the mission normally until we activate with this little sensor thing here, and that is going to bring out all of the Kuiper ore markers. We are not actually going to bother standing in any of these circles. I guess you could do some if you want, but ultimately we're just going to allow the time to go down so that we can farm the enemies that have the yellow name tags. Such as this guy right here. We'll see when we defeat this guy, we're going to get the ping, and then we have anode ion particle. Keep on doing this until we reach around the 30-second mark. At around the 30-second mark, you've probably just defeated 2 yellow named enemies that come out together. Should be pretty safe for us to go ahead and abort the mission, which when we look at our results, we should find that we have around 8. In my instance, I got 4 anode ion particles. That's a pretty bad run. And we rinse and repeat that to get all of the anode ions that we need to get. The second second annoying material to get is the balanced plasma battery that we can see right here. For this, we're going to want to come back to the infiltration terminal right here, and we're actually going to go into normal mode. We're going to select the quarantine zone, and we're going to do this in private so that we don't bother anybody else as they're trying to farm whatever it is they're trying to farm. There are 2 enemies in this mission that drop the resource, so we want to progress through a fair distance of the mission. Progress until we interact with one of the terminals right here in front of the door, and the first enemy is going to spawn in the crowd of enemies that's going to be just up the hill that we just came down. There we have right here.
This commander said something about guarding. Something's not right.
That one down, we can continue the mission for the next one, and the second enemy will appear after we've finished defending this little inversion contraption, and we'll see it spawn just ahead of us, Mr. Elite Living Artillery right here. Collect your second battery, and at this point you are free to quit out of the mission and start again. Hope that helps you with farming out your own Ultimate Ajax, and I'll catch you all in the next video.